You wake up at 4 a.m. and your throat feels like sandpaper. You reach for the glass of water on your nightstand, down it in seconds, and try to fall back asleep. But as you lay there, you notice something else. Something that should be happening, but isn't. Your morning wood, that reliable mechanical sign of physical health, is completely absent. Or perhaps it is just a soft, useless shadow of what it used to be. You try to brush it off. You blame it on stress from work. You blame it on age or the late dinner you had. But what your body is actually trying to tell you in that dry, quiet moment has nothing to do with getting older. It is a physical warning, a mechanical distress signal from your blood vessels. And the most shocking part? The very thing you did right before going to bed to stay healthy might be the exact reason your body is failing you during the night. I am Dr. David Chen, and today we are going to look at a silent vascular crisis that affects over 80% of men over the age of 50. It is a biological bottleneck that almost no doctor discusses in routine consultations. It is not about your testosterone levels. It is not a psychological blockage. It is a mechanical error of fluid dynamics occurring inside your microarteries while you sleep. Here is the truth. Your morning erection is not just a sexual response. It is a vital daily maintenance cycle. During the night, your brain triggers several nocturnal erection cycles during REM sleep. These cycles last for about 30 to 45 minutes each. Their purpose is to flood the cavernous tissues with fresh, oxygen-rich blood to prevent muscle cell death and scar tissue formation. If these cycles are blocked, your pelvic tissue undergoes hypoxia, and over time, this lack of oxygen causes cavernous fibrosis, turning your elastic muscle fibers into rigid, non-responsive scar tissue. But what is blocking this vital oxygen flow during the night? It is the viscosity of your blood, specifically a state of acute nighttime dehydration that turns your blood from a smooth, flowing liquid into a thick, sluggish sludge. Let's look at the basic physics of your circulation. Your blood is made of two main parts, red blood cells and plasma. Plasma is about 90% water. When you sleep, your body continues to lose water through two primary processes. Respiration, every breath you take releases water vapor, and insensible perspiration through your skin. Over an 8-hour sleep cycle, you lose between 500 milliliters to a full liter of water. Because you are not drinking while you sleep, this water is pulled directly from your blood plasma. As the plasma volume drops, the concentration of red blood cells rises. In medical terms, your hematocrit increases. This makes your blood thick and viscous, and it happens right during the early morning hours, between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. Now, think about the size of the vessels we are dealing with. The tiny helicine arteries that supply blood to your pelvic tissue are microscopic, only 1 to 2 millimeters in diameter. Compare that to the coronary arteries of your heart, which are 3 to 4 millimeters wide. Thick, dehydrated blood has a very hard time flowing through a 1 millimeter pipe. The friction increases dramatically. The flow rate drops. And as the flow rate drops, your endothelium, the single-cell inner lining of your blood vessels, loses its ability to produce nitric oxide. Let me explain why this friction is so important. When blood flows quickly through your arteries, it exerts a physical friction force against the endothelial cells. We call this fluid shear stress. This physical rubbing force is the biological trigger that tells your endothelial cells to activate the eNOS enzyme. This enzyme takes L-arginine from your blood and converts it into nitric oxide gas. Nitric oxide then tells your blood vessels to relax, widen, and let the blood flow. But if your blood is thick, dry, and sluggish, the shear stress drops to near zero. The eNOS enzyme remains dormant. No nitric oxide is produced, and your pelvic vessels remain clamped shut. Before we explore the exact hormonal cascade that this dehydration triggers, and the surprising mistake you are likely making with your water intake, take a brief moment to subscribe to the channel. My goal is to bring you honest, clinical physiology without the marketing fluff, giving you the tools to protect your health and longevity. Click that subscribe button now so you never miss these critical vascular deep dives. Let's look at how your body responds to this sudden drop in blood volume. When your kidneys detect that your blood pressure is dropping due to dehydration and low plasma volume, they release an enzyme called renin. This renin triggers a chemical chain reaction known as the Renin-Angiotensin-Aldosterone System, or RAAS. The goal of this system is to save your life by raising your blood pressure. It does this by producing a hormone called Angiotensin II. Angiotensin II is one of the most powerful vasoconstrictors known to science. Its job is to constrict your blood vessels tightly, forcing the blood to stay in your brain and heart. And the very first vessels it constricts are your peripheral microarteries, including the helicine arteries of your pelvic region. So, while you are sleeping, your body is actively releasing angiotensin II to fight dehydration. This hormonal clamp locks your pelvic vessels in a state of chronic constriction all night long. This is why you wake up without any morning stiffness. Your body was in survival mode, prioritizing your blood pressure over your overnight vascular maintenance. And there is another hormone at play, ADH, or antidiuretic hormone, also known as vasopressin. As your blood concentration increases due to water loss, specialized receptors in your hypothalamus called osmoreceptors detect this rise. They signal the posterior pituitary gland to release vasopressin into your bloodstream. Vasopressin's main function is to tell your kidneys to conserve water, but it has a secondary, powerful action. It binds to V1 receptors on vascular smooth muscle cells, causing direct, severe vasoconstriction. Under the combined influence of angiotensin II and vasopressin, your microvascular network is squeezed shut. The delicate cavernous tissues are starved of blood, ending any chance of nocturnal recovery cycles. Wait, let me tell you about Robert. Robert was 58 when he came to see me. He complained that his morning stiffness had steadily declined over the past 3 years. He was a health-conscious man. In fact, he told me, "Doctor, I drink a massive glass of pure water right before I go to bed every night. I make sure I am hydrated." But when I looked at his habits, I noticed a pattern. Because of that huge glass of water, Robert woke up at least 2 times every night to urinate. He thought this was normal for a man of his age. But here is the catch. Waking up to pee disrupted his REM sleep cycles, the exact phases of sleep where nocturnal erections occur. Furthermore, because he was urinating throughout the night, he was actually losing more fluids and electrolytes than he was taking in. He was waking up in the morning severely dehydrated, with high levels of angiotensin II and thick, sluggish blood, despite drinking water before bed. This is the paradox of improper nighttime hydration, and honestly, most men fall into this exact trap. They think that simply gulping down pure water before bed will keep them hydrated. But pure water, especially when filtered or reverse osmosis water, is empty of essential minerals. When you drink a large amount of empty water quickly, it dilutes the concentration of sodium in your extracellular fluid. Your kidneys immediately detect this drop in sodium concentration. To prevent your sodium levels from falling dangerously low, a condition called hyponatremia, your kidneys quickly filter out the excess water and send it to your bladder. So within 2 hours of drinking that water, you wake up with a full bladder. The water did not hydrate your cells. It just ran straight through you, waking you up, disrupting your sleep, and leaving your blood vessels dry and constricted by the morning. This is where we must understand the difference between extracellular hydration and intracellular hydration. To get water inside your red blood cells and endothelial cells, you need electrolytes, specifically sodium and potassium. Sodium acts as the primary transporter that pulls water into your extracellular fluid, while potassium pulls it inside the cells. If you do not have these minerals present in the water you drink, the water cannot cross the cellular membrane effectively. Instead of fluidizing your blood and supporting your endothelium, the water remains in your digestive tract and is rapidly excreted as urine. This leaves your vascular system dry, thick, and under the influence of vasoconstrictor hormones during the critical 4 a.m. window. At this point in our clinical guide, let's take a quick second to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Reclaiming your vascular health requires consistency and scientific understanding, and subscribing ensures you stay connected to these clinical masterclasses. Let's get right back to the biochemical solutions. What happens at the mitochondrial level when this dehydration is chronic? Inside your endothelial cells, mitochondria are the engines that produce ATP, the cellular energy required to fuel the synthesis of nitric oxide. When your body is dehydrated, cell volume shrinks. This cellular shrinkage causes osmotic stress, which disrupts the delicate membrane potential of your mitochondria. Instead of producing ATP, the stressed mitochondria begin to leak reactive oxygen species, or free radicals. These free radicals instantly neutralize any nitric oxide in the vicinity, turning it into peroxynitrite, a highly destructive molecule that causes local tissue damage. So, chronic nighttime dehydration doesn't just block blood flow mechanically, it actively poisons the chemical pathway required to keep your blood vessels healthy. To reverse this vascular bottleneck, we must look at how we can lower angiotensin II and support eNOS activity during the night. And the solution does not lie in drinking more empty water. It lies in changing the structure of the fluids you consume before sleep. The first step to fluidize your morning blood is to prepare a mineral electrolyte hydration shot. Instead of a large glass of pure water, you want to drink a smaller, concentrated cup of mineralized water 30 minutes before bed. How do you prepare this? You take 200 milliliters of filtered water and add a tiny pinch of unrefined Celtic sea salt or pink Himalayan salt. Why Celtic or Himalayan salt? Because unlike industrial table salt, which is pure sodium chloride, unrefined sea salts contain over 80 trace minerals, including natural magnesium, potassium, and calcium. This tiny pinch of minerals matches the osmolarity of your body's fluids. When you drink this mineralized water, your kidneys do not view it as a threat to your sodium levels. They do not rush to excrete it. Instead, the sodium and trace minerals allow the water to be absorbed directly into your bloodstream and pulled into your cells. This maintains your plasma volume throughout the 8 hours of sleep. It prevents the hematocrit from spiking. It keeps angiotensin II and vasopressin low, and it allows your microarteries to remain relaxed and ready for the nocturnal erection cycles. The second step is supporting this mineral hydration with a natural vasoconstriction inhibitor, specifically the mineral magnesium. Magnesium acts as a natural calcium channel blocker. Inside your vascular smooth muscle cells, calcium is the signal that causes the muscle to contract and close the artery. Magnesium competes with calcium, preventing it from entering the muscle cells and forcing the artery to remain relaxed. Consuming 200 to 300 milligrams of magnesium glycinate or magnesium bisglycinate with your nighttime mineral shot provides a powerful, natural vascular relaxant that works throughout the night. Magnesium glycinate is particularly beneficial because the amino acid glycine also acts as an inhibitory neurotransmitter, calming your nervous system and promoting deep REM sleep. And we must also address the impact of dietary habits on nighttime blood viscosity. When you eat a heavy, high-carbohydrate meal late at night, your body undergoes a process called postprandial lipemia and glycemia. Your blood sugar spikes, insulin rises, and triglycerides flood your circulation. This thickens your blood even further, creating a state of transient endothelial dysfunction that lasts for up to 4 hours. Combine this late-night digestion with the natural dehydration of sleep, and you create the perfect storm for vascular constriction. To protect your morning wood, your last solid meal should be eaten at least 3 hours before you go to sleep. This ensures that your digestion is complete, your insulin has returned to baseline, and your blood vessels are not struggling against both sugar inflammation and dehydration. Let's look at the physics of red blood cell flexibility, another critical factor in morning circulation. To pass through a 1 millimeter helicine artery, your red blood cells, which are about 8 micrometers wide, must physically bend and deform. If your red blood cell membranes are rigid and stiff, they cannot squeeze through the microscopic capillaries. This causes a localized traffic jam in your microvasculature, cutting off flow. What makes red blood cell membranes rigid? A lack of healthy omega-3 fatty acids and an excess of trans fats and oxidized omega-6 seed oils. Healthy cell membranes require phospholipid structures built from EPA and DHA. Consuming high-quality wild-caught fish or supplementing with molecularly distilled fish oil increases the deformability of your red blood cells. This allows them to slip smoothly through the narrowest capillaries, ensuring optimal oxygen delivery to your pelvic tissues during the night. Now, let us reveal the final, most surprising hydration error that is killing your morning wood. It is an error related to how you breathe while you are asleep. If you are a mouth breather at night, you are accelerating your dehydration rate by over 40%. When you breathe through your mouth, you bypass the natural humidification system of your nasal passages. Every exhaled breath through the mouth carries away a large amount of moisture from your lungs, drying out your mucous membranes and rapidly depleting your plasma volume. This accelerates the morning dehydration peak and triggers the RAAS pathway much earlier in the night. But mouth breathing does something even worse. It stops the inhalation of nasal nitric oxide. Your nose is a natural producer of nitric oxide gas. When you breathe through your nose, you pull this gas down into your lungs, where it enters your systemic circulation and helps keep your blood vessels dilated. If you breathe through your mouth, you lose this continuous overnight vascular support. So, how do we fix this overnight fluid loss and restore nasal breathing? The most effective $1 solution is mouth taping. By placing a small piece of medical-grade hypoallergenic tape over your lips before bed, you force your body to breathe through your nose. This nasal breathing preserves moisture, prevents rapid dehydration, maintains your blood volume, and ensures a constant stream of nitric oxide reaches your blood vessels all night long. It sounds unusual, but the clinical results are immediate and profound. To help you put this entire vascular protocol into action, here is your detailed 14-day nighttime hydration and vascular reset plan. Monday, mineral hydration reset. Evening, 7 p.m. Eat your last meal, ensuring it is free of seed oils and processed carbs. Night, 10 p.m. Prepare your mineral shot. 200 milliliters of water with a small pinch of Celtic sea salt. Take 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate. Bedtime. Place a strip of mouth tape over your lips to ensure nasal breathing. Tuesday, omega membrane support. Evening. Eat a dinner containing healthy fats and wild-caught salmon to support red blood cell flexibility. Night. Hydrate with your mineralized water shot and magnesium glycinate. Bedtime. Practice 5 minutes of slow nasal breathing, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out, before applying the mouth tape. Wednesday, active vasodilation. Morning, drink 500 milliliters of water with lemon juice immediately upon waking to flush the kidneys. Afternoon, perform 15 minutes of interval training to stimulate eNOS activity through active shear stress. Night, consume your mineral shot and magnesium. Apply mouth tape before sleep. Thursday, renal protection. All day, strictly avoid high-sodium processed foods to protect kidney blood flow. Night, take your mineral shot using high-quality spring water. Apply mouth tape. Friday, endothelial recovery. Morning, drink 100 milliliters of beetroot juice. Night, combine your mineral shot with magnesium glycinate. Sleep in a completely dark, cool room, 18 degrees Celsius. Saturday, passive vasodilation. Afternoon, spend 20 minutes in a hot bath or sauna to promote heat shock protein release and capillary dilation. Night, mineral hydration shot, magnesium, and mouth tape. Sunday, system reset. All day, fast from all refined sugars to prevent endothelial glycation. Night, sleep for at least 8 hours, ensuring nasal breathing throughout the night. Second week Monday, eNOS Phase 2. Evening, consume a light meal of avocado and grilled chicken. Night. Take 300 milligrams of potassium bicarbonate with your saline water shot. Bedtime. Apply mouth tape and sleep on your left side to maximize cardiac output. Second week Tuesday, ADH reduction. Evening. Take 1,000 milligrams of organic pomegranate extract to block free radical production. Night. Drink 150 milliliters of mineralized water. Bedtime. Practice progressive muscle relaxation before taping the mouth. Second week Wednesday, shear stress phase 2. Afternoon. Complete a 20-minute bodyweight circuit to maximize pelvic blood flow. Night. Take your Celtic salt water shot and magnesium. Second week Thursday, endothelial repair. Evening. Consume a raw garlic clove crushed in extra virgin olive oil. Night. Hydrate with 200 milliliters of water containing trace mineral drops. Second week Friday, vasopressin block. Morning. Consume 200 milliliters of celery juice, natural nitrates and potassium. Night. Standard mineral shot, magnesium glycinate and mouth tape. Second week Saturday, thermal therapy. Afternoon. Combine a hot bath with a cold plunge to stimulate vascular contrast. Night. Mineral shot and mouth tape. Second week Sunday, final evaluation. All day, 0 sugar, high clean fats, and deep hydration. Night, full 8 hours of taped nasal breathing. Repeat this cycle for 14 days. Rebuilding your vascular responsiveness and rehydrating your cellular networks takes time, but with consistency, the physical results will show. Honestly, if you follow this routine for 30 days, the change in your morning stiffness will be unmistakable. Your morning wood will begin to return, and your daytime energy levels will increase. This works because you are addressing the mechanical reality of your blood flow, lowering angiotensin II and vasopressin, and giving your blood vessels the hydration they need to function. Let's do the simple waist-to-height ratio test. Take a measuring tape and measure your waist at the level of your belly button. Divide your waist measurement by your height in centimeters. If the result is greater than 0.5, you have excess inflammatory visceral fat. This deep belly fat acts like an active gland, releasing cytokines that directly attack your endothelium and block nitric oxide. Reducing this abdominal measurement must be your primary health goal. Every centimeter you lose from your waist is a direct victory for the elasticity of your pelvic blood vessels. The final truth I want to leave you with is that your endothelium is one of the most dynamic, rapidly regenerating tissues in the human body. The cells lining your arteries are constantly renewing themselves. If you stop damaging them with processed sugars, refined flours, and industrial seed oils, and start providing the mechanical shear stress and targeted hydration they need, your vascular system will recover. Do not wait for a minor warning in the bedroom to become a major crisis in your chest. Your body is actively trying to save your life by giving you this early vascular warning. Listen to it. Start today with small, consistent steps. Prepare your mineral shot tonight. Avoid the late-night heavy meals. Move with intensity for just 15 minutes. Protect your nasal breathing. And treat your hydration with the respect it deserves, because your vascular health, your intimacy, and your long-term survival depend on it. I hope this straightforward explanation has brought clarity to your situation. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now to support this clinical educational channel. Take care of your vascular system, and I will see you in our next medical consultation. Randomization seed, hook 1 plus transition 1 plus informative block 1 plus closing 4 plus micronarrative 2 plus rhythm signature 3.